As always, we stay super busy this week, but we keep on trucking. 3 new employee interviews, 2 sales meetings, and 1 brand new client. I'm Stephen Taylor, bringing you into my office for another weekly behind-the-scenes look at a growing Chicagoland IT support company. So as we continue to grow and as we continue to scale up, hiring more technical talent is one of our big focuses. So we had 3 employee interviews this week. 1 went very well and we'll be making a job offer there. Again, just building out our team so that we're more capable and ready for this growth. 2 sales meetings this week, and we also actually lost 2 sales proposals. Sometimes I find that clients are looking for a cheaper solution. Again, when you look at IT support, most people aren't technically savvy with the different ins and outs and all the details, and so most look at IT support proposals as apples to apples, and then one of the biggest things they focus on then is price, right? That's one of the simplest differentiators when looking at proposals. But the reality is that our setup, our service is vastly different than what the majority of other IT support companies are selling. And we've talked about it a lot of times before. We include everything. It's a monthly flat fee, all inclusive, even projects. And that's a huge spend for most companies, especially in a time of change or growth, that they'll be spending money on projects, moves, adds, changes with other IT companies where they wouldn't with us. So they went elsewhere, probably for a cheaper price, but I believe that in the long run, they'll actually spend more money with subpar solutions. Those projects will be an issue and there'll be billable time there. You know, maybe they'll call on a Friday evening after hours and that'll be billable time. With us, it wouldn't be. Cybersecurity is a big area that we are putting in protections and safeguards. A lot of other companies, IT support companies, are not doing anything in that realm yet, and they're not prepared for it. We are. I believe so passionately in our company, the way we do things, our team. It's challenging to lose a deal, but I always look at it as, you know, what can I do better in the sales process? How can we better educate the market in what to look for? You know, here's 5 questions you should be asking these other proposals for. You know, is this really covered? What would this look like if this happens? Our help desk, and the reason why we've grown has been because of our fast and friendly support team. We actually answer the phone. And so I encourage prospects, you know, how do you interface with support with some of these other IT companies? Because typically I hear we constantly get voicemail, it's an auto attendant, they have to call us back, they don't call us back for 3 days, those kinds of things. So I'm super passionate about what we do here and the service that we offer. It sucks to lose those deals, but it's not about losing the sale to me. It's more about helping improve other people's businesses. The work that we do helps them in their business from that technology perspective. Again, we're super passionate about what we do, and we would just love to help some of these businesses, so I hate kind of losing the deal from that perspective. So we'll be giving $250 back to the United Way I Pledge campaign, just a part of, you know, our values here and giving back to the local community that helped, you know, bring us together. The first part of a new client onboarding is kind of the most fun, right? So we're going in there, we're replacing firewalls, layering in our antivirus and our security software, finding any major issues and resolving those, hopefully. Oftentimes we find issues or challenges in the technology environment that were plaguing the company or they were challenged with on a weekly or a monthly basis. We usually fix those issues, get them into a better place, put them up to our best practices and our standards, and then post that we'll move into, you know, replacements or migrations or changes to help improve technology altogether for that business. So onboarding, kind of a fun, busy time, but a good time for that new customer, and then they get to interface with our help desk, our fast and friendly support team. Usually you can see it, you know, within the first couple of weeks how excited and happy they are that now they finally have a company that they can rely on when technology, which is never perfect, becomes an issue. Sometimes we find prospects and new clients alike are very nervous about the transition to a new IT support company. Onboarding is actually not that challenging. Within a 30-day window, we take care of all of the transition things that need to happen from old IT or former IT support company to us and really take care of it for the customer. So it's not as much of a challenge or a transition period as some might worry about. So we're about halfway through 2019, and there is a lot of work for every business and every organization to do over the next 6 months. One of which is the Windows 7 replacement challenge. So January 2020, support ends from Microsoft for Windows 7, and so you've got to get those newer Windows 10 workstations put in. We're doing a ton of work in this. We've still got about 750 to replace in our clients' fleets. The next biggest thing really ties around cybersecurity and what's two-factor authentication. Passwords are no longer good enough, and with all of the phishing and spoofing and all of the email challenges, two-factor is the single most important thing to do to protect against that. And the third important thing that every business and organization should be worrying about from a technology perspective now is cyber education. There are tons of tools and services and the two-factor authentication that we can do from a technology perspective, but there's something that we have no control over, and that is your team, the end users. We can't prevent them from necessarily doing bad things, and so education is hugely important in keeping your data, your organization, and your money safe. The common example and real story is a spoof email posing to be someone they're not. So the president of a business sending to maybe a CFO or an accountant level role saying, hey, I know I'm out of town this week, but I really need this wire transfer completed immediately with, the information as such. Without education and without double checking and verifying, that staff member might inadvertently just send that wire transfer. It's totally malicious, it's totally wrong, it's bad guys, getting in and doing things, and that money would be gone. And there's nothing necessarily from a technology perspective that can happen. Yes, there's spam filtering and, preventing emails like that from happening, but technology is never perfect, and sometimes these things might get through. Without education and awareness, and users being aware of these are the kinds of things that these bad guys are up to, they might inadvertently send that wire transfer or similar things. Companies could be out tens of thousands of dollars very quickly. We see it all too often with vendors and other businesses, even us out in the marketplace, right? Non-responsive, or you're constantly having to follow up and chase a vendor to get things done. That doesn't happen with us. And the biggest thing that I see all too often is businesses settling for subpar IT support. An IT support company that just doesn't answer the phone or takes days to call back, or bills for everything but doesn't even really get anything fixed. And so I've talked about this a lot lately, and I'm really pushing. There's no reason to settle for subpar IT support. There are good businesses, good vendors out there, and we should all be, changing or looking to find the best provider in that industry, whatever it might be. And for us, we're providing a totally different model and service than I see the others doing. And so that's why I get so passionate about, winning new customers or educating the market to say, hey, there's a difference here, and this is what it is. Super excited to head down to Nashville next week for our peer group meeting. We'll get a chance to meet Shark Tank's Daymond John and spending time with our Franklin 5 peer group. And certainly we're on the phone every single week with each other, providing that accountability and what's working and what's not. But being together down in Nashville is always an awesome time. A little bit of R&R, but a lot of business talk and what's exciting and how we're looking to drive our businesses forward. As always, follow us on all the socials and check back next week for a post Nashville follow-up. Now let's get back to work.